Good evening, folks. Chairman, you may begin the meeting when you're ready.
Okay, I'm still here, so just hang on. We got a while yet. Thanks. I'm here. Ann, are you ready?
Sylvia, can you hear me?
Yes, Jim.
Okay, great.
I had a slight issue too.
41 minutes remaining.
Can you hear me?
41.
So Sylvia, we're still on the white screen, right?
Yeah.
You want to call me back in a half hour?
Letting you know.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you what you can do. Allow that to.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Here.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I can.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
So you can call back on that and let them know that you were factory resetting your device. Once you finish factory resetting, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's 6:01. I think we can get started, right?
Backing up all of your information, right?
Right.
Okay, so let me tell you.
There's quite a bit of background noise coming from someone.
Okay, I think we're all set now. So through you, Chairman, we'd like to call this meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is a salute to flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic
for which it
stands
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with
and
liberty
justice
and justice for all.
for all. Great. So roll call of officers. Chairman Nolan. Saw him speaking a moment ago. We'll come back. Commissioner Rydzinski,
Here.
Commissioner Abbey,
Here.
Commissioner D'Agostino,
Here.
Commissioner Delgado.
Sorry if you had to call again. If it works, then you won't have to call us back.
I think he had some technical difficulties.
Yes, you will have to call us back
Okay.
at this point.
If he pops in, just let me know so I can have it reflected on the record.
Going through the one,
Okay. This meeting today conforms with Chapter 231 Public Law of 1975 called the Open Public Meetings Act. And as per the requirements of the statute, notification of this meeting was published in the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune and filed with the clerk of Middlesex County. So at this time, we're going to move on to the correspondences. May we have an operations update from the Executive Director, Jim Polos?
Certainly, just wanted to advise everyone that we are moving ahead with making progress with our audit. As you know, the implementation of that was somewhat delayed because of the COVID crisis and the accessibility, being able to have people come to the offices. As a result of that, we are relatively on time, running about a week behind. I have requested that the board consider moving the December meeting from the 9th to the 16th. The additional week would provide the auditor the additional time that they need to fully complete the audit so that we could be in compliance with the budget adoption, our budget approval process, I should say, that starts in December, and have our budget completed before year end. And we're very pleased that we're able to make that level of progress with that aspect. Tonight, as you know, we have on the agenda the moving of the McFoods program from the Improvement Authority to the county. This is This is a coordinated effort between the IA and the county in order to improve the level of service being provided by McFoods and aligning it with the community service department at the county. And we wish this will kind of transition over the course of the next month or so before year end. And as you know, McFoods has been a great asset to the IA over the years, doing a wonderful job. Your board chairman should take great credit and satisfaction in knowing that not only do you have an excellent team of people doing the work there, but the investments and innovation that you've put in place in the last couple of years to create the opportunity for perishable distribution, readying the facilities for the COVID crisis so that that facility could continue seamlessly during the COVID crisis without any contamination or exposure to the participants, really is a credit to the way the entire team worked. And we think that they'll continue to do great work under the auspices now of the county. Recycling department is moving along smoothly. Things are working well. No service interruptions or problems there. And I think that that's all I'd like to report on tonight.
Moving on to item 5 of committee reports. The McFoo's report was put into the packet and distribution to the board members. Do we have any items that we'd like to highlight, except for that was covered by the executive director? Okay, so we'll rely on the tonnage that was provided in the packet. Moving on to the recycling report. I think we have Mr. Matissera on the line. Are there any items that we'd like to highlight? One second. Really?
I'm not sure if Paul is on or able to connect in. Paul, if you're there, I'll let you report. If not, I'll give a quick update.
Sure.
It looks like he's on mute.
Yeah. John or Silvio, can you unmute Matta P at the bottom there?
Yes, I just asked him to unmute.
Yep.
There you go. Hello, is that me now?
Yes.
Oh,
There we
I
go.
figured it
Hi,
out.
Paul.
Thank God, I'm getting good at this stuff.
Good.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a long time. Hope all is well. You have our report in your packet tonight. All things are going well, and I'm happy to report that the North Brunswick program is working extremely well. They've melded in the program and doing well. Other than that, as Jim reported before, everything is really doing well with the recycling area. Thank goodness through this COVID, we've been very, very successful. That's all I've got.
All right. Thank you. And moving on to the finance report, we can rely on the information that was distributed to the commissioners in the board packet. So moving on to old business, do we have any old business that we'd like to cover? Seeing none, hearing none, moving on through you, Chairman, to new business. Are there any items of new business that we'd like to cover?
Nothing that I know.
All right.
Jim?
No, Chairman, other than what I reported on, nothing, sir.
Okay. Through you, Chairman, we're going to discuss the following resolutions, item 8A through 8C. We have approving the assignment and assumption agreement between the Improvement Authority and the County of Middlesex for the operation of the Middlesex County Food Organization and Outreach Distribution Services. Item 8B is authorizing the Executive Director to execute a renewal agreement with HealthPlex Dental Benefits for certain authority employees and the Roosevelt Care Center employees. Item 8C is authorizing the Executive Director to execute a renewal agreement with Delta Dental for certain authority employees and along with the Roosevelt Care Center employees. D is authorizing the Executive Director to execute a renewal agreement with Flagship Health System Dental Benefits for certain authority employees and the Roosevelt Care Center employees. And then our final resolution presented before the commissioners tonight is item 8E, approving to execute the indemnity and trust agreement with Middlesex County Joint Health Insurance Fund. May we have a motion to put these onto a consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it, Christine.
All members in favor?
Aye.
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 On to item number 9 of the agenda. Through you, Chairman, we are going to, it's for the minutes of the agenda session and regular meeting of October 14th, 2020. May I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion.
Second.
All members in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to item 10, public comments on resolution items only. John or Silvio, do we have any members of the public raising their hands?
Yes, Ann and Chairman, there are. I will allow the first participant to speak now.
Great, thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sir.
Yes, good evening. It's Charles Cradaville from New Brunswick, editor of New Brunswick Today. I want to clarify first, is the chairman on the call? Is he running the meeting?
I am here.
Okay, it sounded like you were on another call for a minute there, but I'm glad you're back to hear my comments. I did want to ask questions about each of these resolutions. The first one would be, it was alluded to why McFoods is going to be brought back to the county. Can you tell me why was it part of the Improvement Authority in the first place? What was the history of how it got to be the way it was?
Jim, I'll pass that to you. It was running when I got here, so I don't know.
I'm afraid I'd have to give the same answer, Chairman Charlie. I actually do not know the original purpose behind that. I do know that the Improvement Authority obviously was involved in various different elements of golf courses, McFoods, recycling. So there was some diversity to its portfolio, and that dates back really towards the origination of some of these programs. I do not know the rationale for doing it at the time.
Okay, fair enough. Do you know who's going to be in charge of it? Is it the same, is Jennifer still going to be involved, or is it going to be handed off to someone else in the county? Is there going to be a point person for the program?
Yes, the program is basically moving over in the whole form and fashion. All the staff is moving over, equipment, et cetera. It really will just fall under kind of a line of succession under community services in their organization chart. Again, Jennifer will continue to run the operation. The staff warehouse people and so forth will continue to be there. They will just be reporting to the freeholder and the department head under community services and the freeholder liaison there.
Great, great. And can you tell me who the department head is?
Yes, I can. If you give me a minute, I'll think of who it is.
Okay, take your time. I do also want to ask about these dental benefit agreements. So I see there's 3 different agreements being, up for approval tonight. Can you tell me why there's, 3 different providers of these benefits and why the authority doesn't, try to get a better deal by only using one, vendor?
Jim, was that?
Okay, Chairman. Charlie, those agreements have really been in place again for a number of years. They were negotiated through the unions, and they vary because of the different entities involved. And that's the reason why there are different. They're not significantly different. They're actually relatively similar, but they are different because of the way that they were negotiated a number of years ago and continue in that form and fashion.
Sure, understand that. Can you tell me anything about which units are covered by which plan, or is there any, rhyme or reason to who's on what plan? Are any of these, like, for instance, legacy plans that folks might be on who are retired from the authority?
No, they're active dental plans. I can get you the information as to who falls into which ones of Roosevelt employees, IA employees. So there are differences, but I'd be happy to get you a list of which classifications of employees relate to each plan.
Okay, that would be really, really helpful. Thank you for that. And yeah, just do want to, emphasize that there's, probably a potential for some savings if things were consolidated and, everyone was on the same plan with the same company. It'd also probably make things a little easier for your team and, everyone involved. I'm curious, does the authority provide any benefits, health, dental, or otherwise, to former employees, or is it only current employees that get benefits?
Jim?
Employees who retire and meet the necessary qualifications for retirement benefits would receive benefits through the Improvement Authority, much like they would through the county. And also, Megan Davey is the department head for,
Oh, thank you.
foods will be reported.
Okay, great. And then I did want to ask about the final one. If you could just tell me a little bit about what this agreement is. I see that I'm familiar with the Middlesex County Joint Health Insurance Fund, and I presume they provide health insurance to most of your staff. Can you tell me what exactly this indemnity and trust agreement is? Is this just an annual thing, or what is being approved tonight, or what is up for approval tonight?
Sure, I'll flip that over to Ann. Do you want to respond on the indemnification here?
Yeah, this is an annual renewal, all the same terms and conditions in effect, and it's a consolidation through the Joint Health Insurance Fund. So we have the most uniform rate for any issues that come to light.
Okay. Well, that's all my questions on the resolutions. I'd like to speak again later when the time comes. Thank you.
Dan?
Sure, yeah, John or Silvio, do we have any other members of public for public comments and resolutions?
No, and currently there are no other hands raised.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to approve resolutions by consent agenda?
Motion, Christine.
Second.
Who was second?
Jim Nolan.
All members in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Here. Moving on to the payment of vouchers. The bill list was provided to the commissioners in their packet. May I have a motion to accept the payment of vouchers?
I have a question about the golf, the bill there for golf.
Sure. Bill Brennan, are you on? Yeah, you are. Okay. May you unmute yourself to explain the golf course?
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, hi, everyone. Happy to look that up. I'm pulling out, I guess it's on the bill list. Is that what you're seeing?
Yes, there's, I believe there was one there last month too.
Okay. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I can definitely find out more information and circle back very first thing. Do you know the dollar amount? I'm trying to find this on the bill list right now.
I don't have it.
I'll find it, sure. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second here. So you're saying it's for golf-related items. I'm sorry, Mr. Rosinski, I'm not seeing it right away, but I definitely can send you an email and all the information that you require. I just have to circle back with my team.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
While that's still pending, may I have a motion for a payment of vouchers?
Motion.
Second. Second.
Yeah, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to our public session. Do we have members of the public that like to speak on any item?
There are participants with hands raised. I'll allow that first individual to speak.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes,
Anybody?
hello. Charles Cradaville here once again. Do want to say for the record that if people want to speak, they have to press *9 on the phone to raise their hand. Not everyone might know that. But I do have some questions and also a little bit of commentary for you. I want to draw your attention to the emergency adoption of some rules from the DCA regarding remote meeting protocols. This is published in the NJ Register on Monday, October 19th, and it's NJAC 5:39-1.4, and relevant part here says quote, a similar level of access must be provided to the public as to the local public body, including the ability to access both the audio and the video of a remote public meeting if the meeting is broadcast in video. If the local public body meets in person for a meeting, this section would also require members to be given the in-person access. So I do want to say that, I'm glad that the state has taken action to make sure that people can view things like presentations. Indeed, they specifically cite that as one thing that needs to be made public. When you're having a visual presentation, you have to let the people see it. And so I understand you guys have decided to go with audio only meetings now. And I guess that's acceptable compared to what was going on before. But that's, hopefully those mistakes don't happen again with regard to the DevCo presentation that was made with the public in the dark. I do have to ask the question I'm going to ask you every meeting until it gets done. Do you have any update on the school that you have agreed to oversee the redevelopment of here in New Brunswick? Any idea of when that school might be completed or open?
Jim, do we have any information?
No, Chairman, no update from the last meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so to the kids and families of New Brunswick, we can tell them no idea when you're going to get your new school.
You should probably address that question to the Board of Ed.
Right, but the school is a redevelopment project and you're overseeing it. So
right, but we don't open schools. We don't open schools. We don't close schools. So. But
you're supervising the redevelopment of one, and I'll let you know that I went to Trenton last week and reviewed the DEP file for the property, and there is extensive contamination there. Sir, can you tell me, or maybe Mr. Polis, can you tell me the contaminants that are on the site there where you're proposing to build the school?
Charlie, I can tell you that I don't have details of the environmental reports or what elements there are there. Of course, I can tell you with certainty that nothing will be done on any of the properties unless they meet all the necessary appropriate standards and have been cleaned up to the extent necessary and appropriate to meet the DEP regulations and guidelines. It's still early in the process with respect to the proceeding with the construction elements, but those important aspects, and they are critically important, will certainly be part of the whole process going forward before anything is constructed and completed on those sites.
Okay, well, the DEP is in the process of copying the entire file for me, and I'll be sure to forward it to you once I get it. But the things I saw in there were disturbing. These is definitely serious contaminants on the site, and not the type of thing that just can be taken care of quickly. So if we're not even at the stage where the people making the decisions don't even know what the contaminants are, we are far away from a school, and I predict there will be years of delays because of this contamination and because of the short-sighted decision the board made to steamroll this project ahead, get rid of the current school, which thankfully has not happened yet, but the powers that be are pushing for that to happen. And now you've also agreed to take on the redevelopment of the new school, but nobody knows what contaminants are present. No one can tell us when the school is going to actually get built. And I think you have made a grave mistake by taking this on. The authority already has a lot of important responsibilities, and to take on 3 redevelopment projects in the corrupt city of New Brunswick is not a wise move for this board. I think that the children and families deserve a school. They deserve no interruption to having a school. They don't need to be warehoused even for a day, because we have a good school for them. And what you've done is now enabled and facilitated this scheme to take away their school. And if you get away with that, well, I'm going to be at your meeting every month demanding that new school. So hopefully next meeting you'll have better answers, because you'll know what questions are coming. But I'm going to ask you about the contamination at the site, and I'm going to ask you when the school is going to be built. And I'm going to do that every month, every meeting. until you do it, because it's your job. You took it on. You took those votes. I warned you. I definitely cautioned you. I gave you a lot of good reasons to hold off, to delay, to ask questions, to vote it down, to table it, and you decided to go ahead anyway. So now you've got to do what you agreed to do and get a plan to build the school. So I don't know who's going to be taking the lead on that. I'm happy to work with you and talk to you, outside of these meetings, but you better have some answers at the next meeting, because the movement is not going away. There are going to be more people than just me speaking to you about this because of your decision. You're complicit in this scheme, and the answers that we've gotten so far have been completely insufficient. You won't even promise to do the new school in 3 years. Some people are saying it'll be 3 years, but MCIA is, as far as I'm concerned, clueless about the school. You weren't even really signing up to do the school. You agreed to do the Cancer Institute, and then they threw in the school, and you said, okay, we'll do that too. And now you're on the hook to build a school. So I hope you do your homework, because I'm coming back next month and I want some answers. And
Okay.
one final question: the parking authority, are they involved or no?
Unfortunately, the time has expired. Thank you so much, Mr. Cradaville. Moving on to
You're
our
so
next
welcome.
member of the public. Do we have somebody else who'd like to speak?
Chairman and Ann, I do not see any other members with their hands raised.
Okay, then close the public session.
Oh, hold on. I apologize. A hand just went up. I will allow that individual to speak now.
Hello, your name and where you're from? Hello? Are they muted? Is your mic muted?
I've asked the individual to unmute.
Hello? And we have anything else we can cover? Go ahead. What were you gonna say? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, your name and where you're from?
Linda Stork, 6th Ward, New Brunswick.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, before I get to my questions, now I'm curious, is the parking authority involved in this?
Jim?
Is the parking authority involved?
I said Jim Paulos?
We have not had any working relationship with the parking authority with respect to this project, no.
Have not had so far, or will not?
Not
have?
right now. There's no involvement, to our knowledge. There's no involvement with the parking authority at this time.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to know how this sounds to us, because we started coming to the county, months and months before this deal finally went through, trying to get somebody to intervene on our side, and we're told that it was none of the county's business. The county didn't have anything to do with it, and next thing we know, the county is, throwing in $25 million and now the Improvement Authority is doing the project. I mean, I don't know. It's very discouraging, really. You just anyway, because you are the Improvement Authority, I just wish to make the point that this is not an improvement for the people of New Brunswick, and especially for the people of the 5th and 6th Ward. So what do we stand to gain? A cancer center. And Robert Wood already has a cancer center. For that matter, so does St. Peter's. So, it's a fancy place for research and all that. Well, yeah, but that's immaterial to that could be anywhere. That is not what we needed in our neighborhood, was like a big research center at the expense of our public schools, especially. So, balancing the two things out. What does a neighborhood need more? Keep in mind, we already have 2 cancer centers, one in the 5th Ward, one in the 6th Ward. So what do we need? A bigger, fancier cancer center or a decent public school? That our a school we just sank 22 million into would be torn down in the middle of a pandemic. Oh, with state-of-the-art HVAC and compliant to the energy plan of our city because it had the solar panels. No, instead they want to build a power plant in the middle of a residential area. And then the schools that are left, we have some schools with really terrible air circulation. The one they're tearing down wasn't one of them, but we have some with really terrible air circulation. The kids are going to be shipped elsewhere. No idea when their new school will be ready. Land is very condemned. This is just a terrible thing to do to kids. There's so much is up in the air, so much uncertainty, uprooting them, shipping them out to the industrial edge of town, to a warehouse. This is totally unnecessary. And then the new school, getting to the new school that we're supposed to be so grateful for because they're going to spend $55 million on it. Well, what happens if it can't come in under $55 million? Redshaw downtown, which has less kids, cost that. I don't understand, and they already owned the property because it was built on this. It was built on the same, property that the old Redshaw was. So, yeah, it can't be less than 55, and all the contamination to take care of, and it's too big. It's been proven that schools at large are detrimental to the academic achievement of low-income and minority students, which our students are. So, I mean, to almost double the size of the schools, they're talking about 1,100 kids for an elementary school. That is insane. That is just so bad for the students. So it's not an improvement at all. Just so you know, if you want to live up to your name, you can't build a school like that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
There are no others.
Okay. Motion to close public session?
Make a motion.
Second? Second?
Second, Christine.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Well, okay, public session's closed. And what's next?
Adjournment, Chairman.
Adjournment, okay. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is closed. Everybody be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank-